Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and I've been tinkering with the idea of building my own watch for quite some time now, actually. And no, I don't mean like going to a manufacturer and designing and producing the whole thing. I mean going to a website, buying the parts, and putting together a watch of my choice from the internet. Just sourcing a bunch of different parts and making a watch, which is something you can do relatively easily. And there are some caveats. You have to figure out which pieces go together. You have to put the thing together yourself, and you have to just kind of figure it out on your own. But if you wanted to go that route, there is another option called DIY Watch Club. And this is not sponsored by DIY Watch Club. They just reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to try this out? And I said, sure. So they sent me this kit. They let me pick out the watch that I liked from their site the most. They actually sent me some spare parts for customizing it a little bit, and we're going to dig into this. I'm going to put this together today, and they said it takes about 2 hours. I hope it takes less because I don't have 2 hours left on my memory cards. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. I'm going to put this together, and hopefully by the end of this video, I have a functioning, really cool dive watch. So let's do the damn thing. Alright, so it does say that you need to follow the video instructions. I watched all of the instructions before I ever started making this video, so I am going to be watching instructions. And if it does take me 2 hours, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me scratch my head for 2 hours. So I will try to keep this brief, and I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I just want to put this together. And I know that the finger cots are in here. Yeah, you got to wear finger cots. Ooh, these are sexy, aren't they? I'm just gonna cut the circulation off my thumb. All right, so let's get the case out. So I did choose the diver. There were several options, and I chose the diver for obvious reasons. One of these, I believe, this is the steel bezel insert. It's the bezel that comes with it, and we're gonna be using a steel bezel instead. It's actually a very tiny dial.
a minute hand, or the crystal above. It's the single most common reason behind our students' malfunctioning watches. Congratulations! You have acquired one of the most important and rewarding skills of basic watchmaking and watch modding. We want to keep the whole assembly as level as possible as we push it up into the case. Remember to avoid touching the back of the movement. Push your bezel clockwise and then apply the bezel insert, aligning it to the corresponding marks on the chapter ring.
All that's left is putting on the strap. And it comes with this nice elastic strap, actually. I have elastic straps, but I don't have one like this, so I'm not quite sure how this goes on. There you have it. That is a completed watch. I am very pleased with how this went for the first time. There's actually a smudge underneath the crystal, on the underside of the crystal, so I will be taking this back apart, but now I know how to do it. So it's been 1 week since I put this watch together, and frankly, I love the watch, honestly. But if you look at this thing just for its specs, if you take the watch in and of itself and look at the price, $350, you can get a better watch for the money. I don't think anybody's gonna question that. You can get a real Seiko, like an SKX 007 for $350, and that is a phenomenal watch, but you're actually getting a lot of bang for your buck for this thing. I don't think it's a bad value just for the watch itself, because you're getting a sapphire crystal. They do have a mineral crystal version of this, but this one is the sapphire crystal. I got the steel bezel upgrade, which is a mod that I wanted to do to a Seiko anyway. You're getting a screw down crown, the water resistance, you know, that's questionable because nobody's testing these seals or anything, but there's a lot of value here in this watch. I think it's a really nice watch, even for $350. But yeah, nobody's gonna argue that you can't get a better watch for $350. That's not the true value here. And yeah, sure, you get a kit too. You get all the tools and stuff you'd need to do just about anything you would do for modding on a watch. That's not really the value proposition either, because you can get a kit pretty much identical to this on Amazon or anywhere online for 20 to 40 bucks. So you're not really adding a ton of value with this kit. It's helpful, don't get me wrong, but it's not like these are all the best tools in this kit. They're all fairly cheap tools that you can get yourself for about 20 bucks. The true value proposition of DIY Watch Club is it pulling back the curtain on watchmaking. It basically reveals all the mystery of modding and watchmaking and makes it much more approachable. It's much more palpable when somebody's holding your hand through the process and you're not running the risk of ruining your own watch. Sure, you're spending $350, but you're not really running the risk of ruining your $350 Seiko. You're potentially messing up along the process of putting together a watch that you really don't have much of a connection to until you finish it. So you're not gonna feel horrible if you mess up along the way and say bend a hand or scratch the dial. And the benefit of this is If you mess up along the way, they include some spare parts like the hands, which are the most fragile part, the easiest thing to mess up. But let's say you just make a drastic mistake and mess up like the case or the crystal or the dial or the movement. You can buy all of those parts individually for relatively cheap online. On eBay, you can get this movement for like $30, $35. So at the very worst, let's say you mess up the movement, okay, spend another 30 bucks and do it right the next time. You're not running the risk of ruining something you care about, but you're learning something along the way. And they've really, really pulled back the curtain on getting people started in watch modding. And that right there is the true value proposition of DIY Watch Club, is if you are interested in modding your watch, which if you're not, I don't know why you would even buy this thing. So if you are interested in modding a watch, this right here is really, really a great way to just dig into it. Somebody's gonna hold your hand through it, but not make it feel too easy. There is some challenging aspects to it, especially the hands. The hands are very, very difficult, especially the first time. When I went through this, I think the whole build took me about an hour and a half, and I probably spent 45 to maybe even 50 minutes on just the hands. Everything else is pretty straightforward and fairly simple. You have to be careful and slow, but it's pretty straightforward. The second time, so I misaligned the hands and I came back the next day and fixed them. The second time, I took everything apart, fixed the hands, put it back together in under 15 minutes. That's the beauty of it, is it shows you the way the first time, and then after that, it's just a breeze. It's a lot of fun, and it demystifies all of that. So I'm not paid by DIY Watch Club. They did provide this watch and this kit, but they did not sponsor this video. They did not pay me. I don't get affiliates if you do end up buying this, but I did enjoy this a lot, and I wanted to pass that along to you guys. If you are interested in doing this DIY Watch Club, they did provide a coupon code, 10% off if you use Best Damn EDC at checkout, and that's good through, I think, the beginning of December. So if you are interested, you can jump on that. That's about $30 off the whole kit, which is not a bad deal. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I really had a lot of fun putting this together, and I've been wearing this watch, and I really enjoy it. I think I want to customize it myself, and maybe even get a Seiko and customize a Seiko now on my own. And if you want to see that, let me know down below. That's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Follow if you haven't already, subscribe. And of course, if you want to support what I'm doing here, I will put other links in the description down below. If you click through and use those links, it just helps give me a little bit of a kickback if you end up purchasing anything. You can also go to patreon.com/bestdamnedc or carrycommission.com. But with all that said, and until next time, carry on.